Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Dr. Seema Jain and I'm so happy the kind of response that you people have given to my yesterday's video which I made on PSAR, parabolic SAR. And what is most heartening, it's really heartening to know a lot of you have made good money. So whole objective is that, that is what I keep saying, learn in the stock market, right? It doesn't mean that you have to do a paid course. It doesn't matter. You just learn. I'm trying to give you a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of, good content so that you can all make good money. So if you have not seen my video till now, I would request you to watch this video on parabolic SAR. This video you can watch on parabolic SAR and use your own, like I have talked about a lot of, other indicators like ADX I talked about Heikin-Ishi candle, I've talked about a lot of other indicators, RSI, stochastic, all the indicators I've talked about. You can use, combine them and make your own system. You can even use Bollinger Band. So, but the whole idea is it's, be very aware in the stock market. Know what you're doing, how you're doing, where are you taking entry, what are your stop losses, where you will, till what point your trade is going to go, how should you trail the stop loss. So anyway, why am I feeling so good about this video, how it has been received by you people? A lot of you have made good money. Like, I'm not just joking, I'll take you to my channel. Once again, those who have not joined me on my Telegram channel, please join stockpro_official_back nifty. And what is so important to see here, this is somebody called Musu has written, I had utilized this strategy better than anyone, as which was taught by Seema Jain ma'am yesterday on her YouTube channel. Parabolic SAR, I have made my highest till date. The knowledge you are providing through the YouTube for free is very much valuable. Then he said, I have used 30,000 capital and see he's made 81,460 rupees. So that's the beauty, like that's the beauty, the small capital and huge money. This is another trade one of our member has done. He's made 25,000 rupees in the morning itself. This is again somebody has booked profit by watching parabolic SAR video. Thank you, ma'am. It gives me so much of pleasure, that all of you are benefiting with the hard work that I'm doing. But my only request to you people is please share my videos with others. Really let everybody be enlightened in stock market. Let everybody make money. I feel very sad when I mean, every time I get call, I only get call from people who are desperate in the stock market. They would say, I've lost lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Please help us. They would say that I don't have money. If you don't have money, you have time. Learn about stock market. What is more important is, I have always said that in the stock market, either you learn or you earn. If you don't have money, you cannot earn, you can learn. Learn. जहां जहां बुद्धि मिल रही है ले लो, करते जाओ इकट्ठी. Wherever you get the wisdom, wherever you get the learning from the stock market, keep collecting it. Someday when you will have money, when you will do some hard work, extra hard work, have some spare money, you will be able to put all that into your use. So, okay, so in today's video, I have been reading comments, and a lot of you have asked what kind of preparation do you do when you come to the stock market. So, I have put my thoughts in that perspective, and I'm going to give you point by point what is it that I look into. Right? It could be weekly basis, it could be daily basis, and in case you want to know where exactly you get the world's economic calendar, please write it in the comment box and give a thumbs up to the channel, to the video. Right, it's a very important information. Not many people know about it, not many people will tell you, but where to get the world's economic calendar, right? How the economy, Fed policy is coming, or the monetary policy is coming, which countries job data is coming, or when the crude inventory is coming, all that will be shown over there. So if you want to know about it, please write it in the comment box and give a thumbs up to the video. So let's start and go to the today's content. So how does the international, the question is, that I'm going to ask, I'm going to answer. A lot of you have written in the comment box. How does the international market affect Indian stock market? So many ways, many ways. I have also made a video earlier, but today again I'm going to be talking about it with updated information. So I'm your host, Dr. Seema Jain. I'm a SEBI registered research analyst. I'm partner with Zerodha Upstocks Wise and Asta Trade, and now Angel One as well. And you can follow me on my Telegram channel, on my website. The best way, please don't fall in prey to a fake channel. Best way to reach out our team is go to the website, and from there you contact us. That's the best way. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp on these numbers, mobile numbers, and YouTube. Let's go on further. So the first factor that affects Indian market is globalization. So you must be knowing, that many of Indian companies are listed in America also. Let me just give you the number of the companies that are listed in America, or what are the major companies that are Indian and listed in America. So I'm just going to give you all the details. Yeah, so let me tell you what are the companies that are listed. They are called ADRs, American Depository Receipts. So Access Bank, Dr. Reddy, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Infosys, Make My Trip, Rediff.com, Tata Motor, Vedanta, Wipro, Yatra Online, WNS. Like these are the companies which are listed in American market as well. So what happens, so I'm going to read the whole presentation for you. Business no more work in silos. Rather, they have offline offices in multiple geographic catering to the customers of that particular region. Stalwart Indian companies that are listed in the stock market have also branches in US. Many of the listed Indian companies are also listed in the US stock market as American depository receipts. I told you a lot of them, like Axis, ICICI, Dr. Reddy's, Infi, TCS, Tata Motor. So this integration of companies in financial market explains the US market effect on the Indian market, right? So this is one point that you must remember. The second is what affects Indian market is the economic policies. Two major policy decisions for any country are monetary policy undertaken by the central government and fiscal policy that is undertaken by the purview of the central government. To understand the US market effect on Indian market, we should look at the interest rate decisions or trade barriers that lead to the trade imbalance of the US with India. For instance, if the US hike tariff or impose additional duties on the steel imports, steel exporters in India and their shares prices will get affected. Thus, even a small decision by a developed country can be reason for volatility in developing countries. One very important point also to know is all the pharma companies who are majorly supplying to US and Europe do get affected by their different rules or their federation laws, etc. So a lot of pharma companies do get by US laws a lot. So that is also something you must remember. So about news, I want you to come to this particular news which I'm picking up from Economics Times. It says that the government waives import duty on some raw material for steel industry. Export duty on iron ore hiked up 50%. So do you get the point here? Like this is a very recent news, May 21st, 2022. So the steel which is getting imported, the duty has been removed from that, and export duty, if you want to export the iron ore to some other country, there is a 50% export duty which has been hiked up. Do you want to see the effect this particular thing had? So the effect of this news was, particularly have a look at it, this is the day 19th May, ever since it has been just falling down. And you can have a look at the various other steel companies, Hindalco. It has majorly fallen after that. This is 22nd May, 19th May, this is 23rd May, and after that it has fallen down, corrected majorly. Tata Steel, have a look at Tata Steel, majorly corrected after this date, somewhere here. It has been continuously going down. Have a look at VETL. Again on the correction mode, continuously. Have a look at JSW Steel. JSW Steel, all the steel sector companies have been correcting, although it's a very good stock, so it's holding itself. And same goes with Jindal Steel as well. So all the major companies have corrected based on this particular news, right? So this is how you can see the effect of news playing in the stock market, right? This was a news which was from our government to the steel sector. Now let's go on to the next, which is Forex rate. So Forex rate means the conversion rate, how the Indian currency, like you know that 1 USD is equal to somewhere around 78.2 rupees. It was about 76, 77, now 78 plus. So these are the exchange rates at which the currencies are traded in the market. The US dollar is the strongest currency in the world, while the Indian rupee is relatively weaker. If we have to comprehend the US market effect on the Indian market, look at the trade, import and the export between both the countries. India imports a lot of products and services from the US, and thus if the US dollar increases in value vis-a-vis Indian rupee, then importing companies will have to shell out more money. In a nutshell, increasing the exchange rate will reduce these companies' profitability, subsequently impacting their share price. So you get it. If the rupee becomes more weak, the profitability will be affected. So that is the third point that we definitely consider. The next is the debt market. So debt market is a very, very important factor. Majorly all the traders in India kind of ignore it. So we're going to understand what is this debt market. So debt market is the one in which treasury, bond and commercial papers are traded. So this market is highly matured in US compared to India. So understand like this, if US government want money, so what will it do? It will borrow from the people who have it in excess and keep it as a government bond, right? In India, it's also called GSEC. So the money will be kept in a bond and that bond yield will depend upon demand and supply. So it says the market effect on the Indian market can be understood from the bond yield. Rising or falling yields on US Treasury bond affects many stock markets from the US to Europe to Asia. A rise in yield means the increasing borrowing cost for business that have a presence in the US market. So in case the bond yield is increasing, it used to be somewhere around 2-3%. Now it's about 4-5% or 6%. So increasing bond yield means that the business which is borrowing money, their cost of doing business is going to go up. It simply means their profitability will go down. It will hamper their future capex plan, which is red flag for many value investors. This will impact the bottom line of these business that snowballs into the drop in the share prices affecting the Indian market. Hope you have understood this fourth point as well. Debt market matters a lot. How do you see? Where do you see? I'll show you. So I'm on the TradingView platform and I have opened up US government yield, 10-year yield. If you see here, it has been constantly going up. Ever since March of 22, it has been just going up from 1.6% to about almost like 3.44%, more than doubled, right? So this is how we can see that the businesses are going to be affected, and that effect, the prices are coming down, and that is the effect you can see within the Indian market. So that's another very, very important factor. And the last factor that I'm going to take into consideration is basically news inflow, news flows. News is one of the key elements in fundamental analysis in stock investments and trading. This news could be inflation, GDP growth, elections, election results, COVID-19 relief package, fiscal deficit, etc. These events decide the foreign flow or foreign institution investors, FIIs or FPIs, etc. This is one of the important factor to understand the US market effect on the Indian market. As these FPIs and FIIs investments move the Indian stock market, you must be noticing, you must be reading on all the social media that FIIs have been withdrawing from stock market since October onwards. That means they had a good information way in advance than what we have right now. They started withdrawing money from Indian market long back. We are now getting, into inflation. We're now getting into talking about that markets are going down. They have understood this at the peak. So this was all about the impact of the US stock indices like Nasdaq, Dow Jones Industrial, and S&P 500 and Nifty and Sensex. Now we will direct our focus on impact of Chinese stock markets on the Indian markets. And here it goes. The Chinese market is a big exporter to India when it comes to pharmaceuticals, automobiles, equipment, electric goods, and electronic goods, to name a few. Likewise, China also imports iron ore, steel, aluminium, chemical, etc. from India. Just like US market effect on the Indian market, China's internal policies will hurt their listed companies and thus their stock markets. This impact will be felt by those listed companies who trade in Chinese companies. Like I showed you the news about the steel market, that the government waives import duty and imposes export duty has been hiked by 50%. So when you want to send out, you will have to pay more duty. While importing, there is no duty. So this affected steel price, right? And China being one of the beneficiaries here. So all the news impacts companies or the industry or the sector, and that effect is, see how it happens. First, the government decides the policy. Then that policy affects a particular, sector. And in that sector, some companies are affected more aggressively. And then those prices, either go up or down. So just to conclude, India imports semiconductors again, as it comes to the Chinese market. India imports semiconductors from which is silicon that are used to make semiconductor chips, which are used in automobiles. There was a supply glut of these chips from China, because of which automobile manufacturers are suffering currently in India. You must have heard that there were low auto supply in the Corona period. The reason was that China was not being able to supply silicon chips. Pull up a chart of Maruti Suzuki shares to verify the impact of chip shortage on its share price. The biggest company had to cut down its production by 40% last month owing to this shortage of semiconductor chips. The impact of China's stock market on the Indian market is more industry specific compared to the US market. Effect on the Indian market is more policy focused and macroeconomic in nature. Now, if you really want to be in the stock market, if you really want to make money from the stock market, what you have to do is really be, aware what is happening, what are the government policies that are getting formed day by day. Like for example, the government policy about the electric vehicles, all the EV shares, like whether it was Tata Power, whether it is Tata Motor, a lot of stocks just went up. So use knowledge to empower yourself in the stock market. That's the whole objective. And many of you may not watch this video, but I'm telling you, it's one of the most important video you will ever get on, what are the important factors to know in the stock market. People will tell you price and people will tell you volume, etc. Nobody will tell you that these are the basic factors. So if you want to know how do you get the world's economic calendar, do write in the comment box and share and subscribe. I have to answer your one of the question that I asked about, how do you know whether the market is trending or not? I'm going to give it in the next video, because this video I want to keep short and focused on the objective. But next video, which I'm going to make technical, I will definitely answer it. Take care. Bye bye. See you in the next video.